Hey everybody, I'm back with another exclusive! Brand new for 2024. This is so brand new, it's only arrived in the country literally like yesterday. I'm the first one to get my hands on it. It's called Ebb Flow. It's a 36 shot cake. It's category F2 and contains 421 grams of net explosive content. The effects are described as 36 shots, thick swimming stars. So it's a swimming star, a moving star cake, sometimes called a go-getter effect. I've seen them before with comets, moving comets, but this is the first time I've seen a moving star cake with tailed, thick swimming stars. So this is Ebb Flow, new for 2024 from prestigious Pyrotechnics. 2 fuses again on the top, a main fuse and reserve fuse. Looks to me that the tubes are about 20mm in diameter. It's a 1.3G cake as well. Let's fire it and see what it looks like. So what did I think of Ebb Flow, new for 2024 from prestigious Pyrotechnics? This was a really unusual single effect cake, an effect that you can't really find anywhere else right now. Yes, there are other cakes with swimming, moving, go-getter stars, but they tend to be simple coloured pearls. The shots in Ebb Flow have nice thick comet tails to them, and they're really quite bright too. It's actually reminded me of an old Zeus cake I used to really like called Blast Off, which also had these thick silver comet tails, but without the directional change. Now in some other swimming, moving, go-getter cakes, often the movement in the directional change of the shots is quite minimal. I even had one batch of Yorgi Yuran cakes a few years back that had no directional changes in the shots at all. They were quite disappointing. But that's not the case here with Ebb Flow. The directional changes during flight are well pronounced and big, with each shot having a great travel time as well. I was a little curious given the long flight time of these shots whether any would make it down to the ground, but I'm pleased to report that in my testing none of the shots did. So overall I was really impressed with the effects from this category F2 single effect cake from prestigious Pyrotechnics. However, we need to talk about its duration. When I filmed this I actually filmed 4 of them, the one you've just seen and 3 others which I fired simultaneously in a fan. Here's that footage. So you'll notice that the centre cake finished after just 5 seconds. I thought perhaps I had a misfire and maybe only a few rows of the cake had fired. But when it was safe to do so, a good long while after this firework had finished, I checked and no, the entire cake had fully fired. It had sent up its entire contents of 36 shots in just 5 seconds. The 2 outer cakes, however, lasted around 43 seconds each. So let's recap. The single Ebb Flow I initially fired lasted around 19 seconds. Out of the other 3 I fired, 2 lasted around 43 seconds, but 1 lasted just 5 seconds. So that's a massive variation in duration. Now, okay, the duration of consumer fireworks does usually vary a few seconds either way. For example, a 30-second cake might last 35 to 40 seconds, or it may last 25 seconds, and we expect that. But for a cake to last anywhere between 5 and 45 seconds, that's quite a big margin that would make this cake a little tricky to slot into a choreographed display. So what could be the reasons behind this discrepancy in durations? Well, if these cakes were all from different batches, it's possible that different speeds of internal fuse were inadvertently used for each. But as these cakes were all from the same batch, then a more likely explanation is something called flash through. Now, to understand flash through, we need to look at how firework cakes, or barrages, are internally fused. Typically, a fuse weaves in and out of each tube in turn. If this internal fuse burns at a rate of say 1 centimetre a second, and the length of fuse between adjacent tubes is 1 centimetre, then in theory 1 shot should ignite every second. Flash through is when the force of the lift charge in the bottom of a tube actually protrudes out of the hole where the fuse is at the base, instantly burning through the fuse and igniting the next shot. So this is what I suspect happened to varying degrees with 2 out of the 4 Ebb Flows I fired. But putting the duration issues to one side for a moment, the effects themselves in Ebb and Flow are really unusual and big. Your audience probably won't have seen effects quite like this before, and because it's both low noise and category F2, but with big enough effects to rival F3 products, Ebb and Flow will certainly find applications in a wide variety of firework displays. Right, let's look at the price. The recommended retail price, or RRP, for Ebb and Flow is £49.99. But you can typically pick this up for around about £35 this year. At £35, this is a really good piece, provided that it lasts around 40 seconds. It's still a pretty good piece if it clocks in at around 20 seconds. In fact, if you didn't know it was meant to last 40 seconds, you wouldn't be that disappointed, or indeed any of the wiser, if it only lasted 20 seconds. But at 5 seconds duration, you do kind of lose the ability to really be able to appreciate the unusual effects produced by Ebb and Flow. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my channel for more exclusive firework reviews.